So today's home learning will be on some of the algebra, which appears on your test. Question 1's pretty straightforward, hopefully you already know this. If you've got, as an example, if I had 3 times d, I would have 3d. On 1b, b times b, when we times something by itself, we say that we're squaring it. So b times b is the same as b squared. So which of these is b squared? For question 2, what we do is when we multiply, we can multiply in any order. So we always arrange it, number, and then put the letters alphabetically. So here I've got 3 times 2. So I write down my answer for that. And then I've got times by A. And I've got times by B. So we don't write the times sign in when we simplify. We just put the letters next to each other, next to the number. For B, that's c to the power of 5. So that looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what we're doing is we're timesing it by another c. So that's going to equal c, and you've got to decide what the power is going to be. For question C, as I said before, we're going to do number and then the letters. So 2 times 5, I want you to write your answer down. And then we've got y to the power of 4. So if I was to write that out, I won't because it would take me a little while on the computer. But I'd have 4 y's written out. And then I'd have another 3 y's written out. So I'd have y, and then what power is it going to be if I wrote y times y times y times y times y times y times y. Put down the power. The same for D. Do your letters first. So I've got 3 times 4. Write down an answer for that. And then we've got 2 different letters this time, but it still works the same. I've got just a G on its own there. Now I've got G to the power of 3. So that's going to be G, and you need to write down what the power is going to be. And then we've got another letter, we've got the H's, and here we've got H to the power of 2. And here we've got h to the power of 3. So how many h's would that be altogether if I wrote them all out? If I wrote h times h here and h times h times h, how many would that be for the power? So we need those multiplying skills to be able to expand brackets. So when we expand brackets, what we're doing is we're multiplying everything inside the bracket by the number outside. So here you're going to do 2 times x and write down an answer. And then we're going to be adding whatever 2 times 3 is. Okay, so you're going to do 2 times x, write it down, plus 2 times 3. Okay, so 2 times x is going to go there. And this one is going to be 2 times 3. You can do the same for every question. So for the first bit, you're going to write whatever 5 lots of 2x would be. And this time it's going to be minus what 5 lots of 4 is. Here, 4 lots of 2x plus 4 times 1. And for the last one, 6 times x, or 6 lots of x, and it's going to be a minus this time, what 6 lots of 4y would be. Okay. To give you an example then, so for a 2 lots of x would just be 2x, and 2 lots of 3 would just be 6. So the answer is 2x plus 6. So you're going to do the same again on question 4. You're going to times by the first term and times by the second term. So your final answer has 2 bits. Okay, so that'll be 2 terms in your final answer. Question 5 is similar, it's just we've got some powers this time, the same on question 6. So remember, x times x is x squared. And if you've got x times 2x, then you've got 2x squared. 2x times 3x, remember we do the numbers first. So you're going to have 2 times 3 and write it down. X squared. And then the last one isn't too bad. Okay, so again you're going to need 2 bits with your answer. It's going to have your x squared and then whatever x times 2 is. So plus, in this case it would be 2x. Okay, and make sure you get your sign right. So this one's going to be minus, this one's going to be plus, and this one is going to be minus. Same for question 6. Question 7, we're simplifying, and this time we've got an addition sign. So we've got 8 x's and we've got 5 x's. So you just say how many x's you've got. So the answer is going to be something x. And on B, you've got 9 f's. You're adding another 10 f's. So work out what that is. And then you're taking off 12 of those f's. So you end up with something f. It's the same on question 8. Remember, if there's no number in front of a letter, there is a secret number. It's 1y. Okay? So you're going to have equals something y for your answer. For 8b, this time we've got different types of term in here. So what we've got is we've got 6q, and I'm going to look along the row and find anything else that's got a q in it. And I've got this bit here. Take away q, so take away 1q. So I'm going to do that bit and I'm going to write down how many q I've got. So 6q, take away 1q. I'm going to use a different colour. And this is what I do in an exam as well. I use different highlighters. And the next I've got is a plain number. Okay, we call that a constant. So that's 4. And we're adding on another 5. So you're going to end up with plus something. Okay, so something q plus, and this is going to be a plain number, 4 plus 5. Question 9, you're going to do 4p, add on another 2p, and then take away 3p, so you end up with something p. Then on B, you've got 9s, take away 5s's, add on 2 s's, and then take off another s, so you end up with something s. And then for C, on C, we've got 2 different terms here, so we're going to collect the t's. So we've got 80, take away 70, so write down how many t's you've got. And then we've got r's, so we're adding 3 r's, but we're taking away 9 r's, so it's going to be 9 minus something r. So it's going to be something t minus something r. Same on question 10, we've got different terms in the question. So we've got 4a plus 5a, so you're going to end up with something a, and then we are adding 7b, but we're taking off, remember that secret one, we're taking off 1b. So we're going to have something b. Same for question B, we've got 6c and we're taking away 1c. So write down how many c's you've got. And then for the d's, we're adding 4 d's, but we're taking off 7. So 4 take away 7 takes us into negative numbers. So we've got negative something d. Question 11 and 12, we're combining all of the different skills we've just learned. So the very first thing you've got to do is when you get one like this, is you split it down the middle. Okay, I'm going to do the same over here. I'm going to split down there. So straight after that first bracket is where I do my split. And I'm going to completely ignore the second half of the question for now. I'm just going to expand the first half of the question here and write it down. So I'm going to end up with something x plus something. Now I've expanded that half, I'm going to look over here and I'm going to expand the second half. So this is a positive 4. So I'm going to do 4 times 3x. So I'm going to end up with something x here, and it's positive because it's got this positive sign at the beginning. And then 4 lots of 2. And again, both positive numbers, so it's going to be positive here. And then you simplify this down, just like we were practicing a minute ago. So you're going to simplify your x's together. And you're going to simplify your plain numbers together. So you end up with something x plus a plain number. Same over here on question 12. You're going to ignore the right hand side for now. You're just going to do 3 times x. So you're going to end up with something x. You're going to do 3 times negative 2. So you're going to end up with negative whatever 3 times 2 is. Then look at the right hand side. It's positive. So we've got 2 times 4x. So we're going to end up with a positive something x. And then this time we've got a positive 2, but it's timesing by a negative 1. So we're going to end up with negative whatever 2 times 1 is. Then simplify. So we've got our x here, and we're adding on another x here. So write down what you get. And then we're going to end up with a negative plain number here, and another negative here. So you've already got a negative here, you need to go even more negative. So take off this one as well. So you're already starting at a negative number, and you're taking off, so you're going even more negative. So you're going to end up with something x minus a plain number.